thoughts of the divine relics. Here I am. HM. The fish intestine sword is reacting. I am here. You have discovered the guiding sword. The fish intestine sword wishes to get closer to the guiding sword. What are you doing? Come and grab me. The sword with the legend that turns its possessor into a king. No wonder they say that the 9 great gods attract each other. Grab me. Right away. Take hold of me. It feels like it's urging me in a rush. I can give that to you if you want it. Of course, completely giving it away to you would be difficult since the household members would oppose it, but lending it would definitely be possible. Aegis. Palace, trident. Just name it. I'll lend you whatever you want. Any of these is enough to make sure no human can take you down. No, thank you. I'll have to decline your offer. But why? I'm sure any one of these would be of great help to you. That's true, but there's nothing free in this world, is there? I didn't expect him to be easily swayed by worldly desires in the first place, but to dodge a blatant trap by acting clueless. How wicked. Learning the fact that the guiding sword is currently here is important. As long as Minerva is longing for me, I'll always have a chance to get my hands on it. More importantly, I have a question for you. What is it? I'll try my best to answer most questions. Do you know why Mephistopheles is so obsessed with me? Actually, I expected you to ask this question the moment I invited you to the sanctuary. Rather, the reason I invited you to the sanctuary is because I had something to tell you regarding this matter. You're extremely similar to this one person. The one Mephistopheles has been searching for a long time. The one Mephistopheles is searching for. Who is it? Is she referring to me when I was Twilight of the Gods? No. I never got entangled with Mephistopheles back then. You're really similar to Cabus, and because of that, you're bound to catch Mephistopheles' eye. Abyss. Mephistopheles' god name is the great demon that chases after the abyss. Is it connected to that abyss? That's probably why he tested you during the first tutorial. Who on earth is that person? He's. As I thought, they'd censor it. In any case, there was a person like that. There are almost no cases of the system interfering with awareness. I either need a great amount of causality to become aware of the person Minerva mentioned, or I need to obtain the right to approach him first. This means his existence is so supreme that the principle of causality must be different for him. The abyss I know of is the fragment of the universe from before the beginning of time in the deepest of places. How on earth does that resemble me? I never thought that all the things I dismissed as useless during my time as Twilight of the Gods would come back to bite me in the ass. If I restore my channel with the underworld and ask the king of the underworld, I could get a rough idea. Well, this is hard. Don't worry about it too much. You just need to follow your own path. Though I can tell you one thing for sure. You are fundamentally different from him. What's wrong? No, just now. Oh, goddess. The enemy has appeared. Because of that, the outside is, what? Who on earth? Owl's Nest is a territory clearly ruled by Minerva, who has great divine status within Olympus. Someone intruded on heaven's forbidden land that one must never set foot on, even by mistake. As the day Eros draws to a close, the night knocks. Slowly awakens and covers the sky. Stars that have been shrouded in darkness have begun to shine. A constellation has appeared. The constellation Gemini attempts to descend to the sanctuary, Owl's Nest. The constellation Gemini attempts to descend to the sanctuary, Owl's Nest. Or the invasion has begun. How dare you? The constellation the owl that pierces through the twilight. Widely spreads out her wings. Sure. You must have wanted to vent out your anger. Are you so terrified of Mephistopheles that you dare invade my sanctuary and try to steal my guest from me? Polia's shield unfolds and blankets the sanctuary. You dare look down on me, Minerva, the great divinity of Olympus. The constellation the owl that pierces through the twilight. And the constellation Gemini have begun a dispute over the territory. The defense mechanism has kicked in. The two divine powers are clashing. Take your positions. When the barrier breaks down, Castor's household members will show up. Bellerophon, IAS. Help the goddess. Serena. We gotta send Li Changxian back to the lower realm. What about teleportation outside? The outside seems completely blocked by starlight right now. Resetting new coordinates might take time. These rats wouldn't even squeal if the master deity was here. They planned this whole thing. Castor. How dare you, a dog who sniffed Pallid Star's tail, bare your fangs before me. Minerva. You're a mess for someone who's considered the goddess of war. I'm not so sure who the one sniffing tails here is. After you, it's Pallid Star's turn. We shall be the only ones that can shine under the great night. Fall to your slumber, goddess of the old era. The constellation Gemini has attempted to descend. He has failed. He has attempted to descend. He has partially succeeded in incarnating. The Iron Divine Punisher has descended. Go. Go, my army, Devo Nafra. My army, Artruatone. Fight them head on. Something's weird. Those two, Gemini, would never start a war this rashly. Those guys don't start wars unless they are sure they could win. Gemini's involvement in what could be a major incident that causes an all-out war between Olympus and the horoscope means this isn't just a matter of anger or retaliation. It means they're absolutely confident about winning. Plus, Pollux is nowhere to be seen. The two are called Gemini because they're always together when doing something big. Come, my children. Take me with you. What? Batuz. Die. Chief. Goddess, move out of the way. Status. Commandment Tiger. Has been activated, increasing your thinking speed. That was an attack to harm the great divinity, Minerva. With my current skills, blocking it won't be easy. I'll have to draw out a different power from outside to deflect that force. Get out of the way, you rascal. Given to me by Gemini. And Mephistopheles. Stigma. I'll use both their divinities to offset this power. I will unleash it using slash. And then deflect it. Skill. Black Mountain Monarch's first claw has exploded. Li Changxian. Ugh. Your magic power has dropped below 30. You are feeling dizzy. The lethargy is setting in. Fatigue is setting in rapidly. Replenish your magic power. That's a stunt I'll never pull again. Great feat accomplished. Mortal who has awakened divinity. Reward. Intelligence 30, Will 25. Unlocked a part of divine attributes. You have succeeded at realizing a part of ways of using divinity. You have realized Starfire. From now on, you can use a small part of the starlight of the stars. You have realized pitch black darkness. You can now draw out the darkness of the primordial times. What the hell are you doing? Batu. Promacho's heavenly punishment has fallen. It's the stigma. Did he neutralize my slash with divinity and make up for the rest with Pallid Star's divinity? A mere mortal using two divine powers with such fine detail. You're a genius, huh? Pollux. Was he disguised as Minerva's household member? I thought it was stupid of my older brother when he showed interest, but I guess I didn't necessarily have to think that way. Taking you down with this puppet was impossible from the start anyway. Pollux. Come to me, Li Changxian. Damn it. How much more are you going to deceive me? Since when have you been hiding among my household members? I can't say. Is there a reason for me to tell you that? If you're not going to open your mouth, I'll open it myself. Give it a shot. If you can do it, that is. You ill-mannered brat. Ugh. The energy those two are exuding is making it hard for me to even stand upright. You have received the goddess blessing. Hey, Li Changxian. Are you okay? I'm fine. Rather, because of me, the situation has. Because of you. As if. Those bastards pulling this shit are the problem here. Anyhow, it was fun. I'll see you again if we get the chance. Attempting to descend to the lower realm. Due to the long path to the coordinates, you will need around 5 seconds to leave Owl's Nest. One of the faces of the constellation Gemini is trying to capture the player Li Changxian. These damn eyesores. I can't believe they pulled this shit all to catch me. I gotta screw them over one way or another. How about I try using pitch black darkness? Even if that slash took up all my energy, I still have pitch black darkness. Above all is the skill Gemini was wary of. Skill. Kalokagathia. Has been applied, drawing out your focus to the limit in proportion to pitch black darkness resistance. Unlocking the benefit granted by the constellation the Tiger that has been trapped in hardships. Skills. Beast Sense. Has transformed to authority. Path of the Demonic Beast. Path of the Demonic Beast. A new benefit granted by the constellation the Tiger that has been trapped in hardships. It sharpens your senses like a demonic beast that wishes to tear apart the rules of this world, giving you a sixth sense that transcends perception. The sharper your sixth sense gets, the more you will tear your target apart. Skill level. 1 category. Authority effect. Enhancement of senses, perception expansion, sixth sense development, liveliness manifestation. You have awakened a new use for stigma. Pitch black darkness has been unlocked. Flames are igniting in the cramped pitch black darkness. Inferno sight has opened. No way. Is that? How did a lowly mortal unlock pitch black darkness? What is this? I'm sure the Pallid Star doesn't have the time to be helping him out. You dare be distracted in front of me. What pathetic guts. Unleashing Trident's flash. Gua. Minerva. Elfin. Not only did you see me off yourself, you even gave me a present like this. The standby time is over. Now returning to the ghoul den. I'll make sure to make proper use of the guiding sword you two have gifted me. No. You've truly committed a ridiculous feat, Master. I did it. I screwed Gemini over big time. One of the faces of the constellation Gemini roars in rage. To vent out his frustration for the humiliation he suffered at the hands of a mortal, the other face of the constellation Gemini is smashing everything around him. It's too noisy. One of the faces of the constellation Gemini warns that he will not hold back his rage against a mortal who pulled this stunt. The other face of the constellation Gemini is forcefully suppressing his anger at you for having taken an object he considers a sacred item. You've basically turned the zodiacs into enemies. Don't you feel threatened? A warning order has descended in the Society of Gods. The Society of Gods, Olympus, is monitoring the situation. Olympus and Horoscope are entering a state of tension. The constellation the owl that pierces through the twilight seeks to punish those who have desecrated her sanctuary. War has broken out between the owl that pierces through the twilight and Gemini. Enemies. As if. Do you think they'll think of me that way? They'll more likely be interested in me. Various constellations of the horoscope have started investigating this incident. The constellation Pisces is interested in you. The constellation Taurus finds your feats quite amusing after hearing about them. A total of 26 constellations of the horoscope are amused by what you did. There are currently 241 constellations showing their intentions to offer you to become a patron. There are currently 19 constellations offering you the position of apostle. In addition to the number of gods and constellations who offered to become a patron, 19 constellations offered him the position of an apostle. The constellation Primordial Evil Dragon is starting to get curious after hearing strange rumors. The constellation Good Season to Hunt is shocked and fidgeting, trying to divert their attentions to someone else. Elfin, where is it? Here. You did good. If I follow him, then maybe I might actually be able to resurrect the goddess. I will follow my new master absolutely and unconditionally. I knew he was capable of far more than any ordinary person, but hasn't he surpassed that degree a bit too much? Well, who cares anyway? It certainly feels nice to wield it. One of the 9 treasured swords crafted by the first Oyezi, the divine artisan. Legends say the sword bestows its wielder with the qualifications of a king, granting them a formidable authority related to domination. However, it also offers difficult conditions in choosing its master, as much as it grants them power. Category: Long sword, divine item. Attack: cannot be measured. Effect: Majesty creation, reinforced domination, rest unable to be confirmed. Because of lacking qualifications, the majority of the functions are currently locked. Looks like I can't use it immediately, like I expected. It was really noisy while it was in Pollux' hand. But now it's very calm. You have succeeded in partially fulfilling the hidden quest Oyezi's secret. Is it investigating its new wielder? What a cautious personality. You currently have a total of 2 treasured swords within your possession. The hidden function of Yuchang has been partially unlocked. You have partially fulfilled the qualifications of Zhanlu. Yuchang. Fire and blood. Zhanlu. Cannot be confirmed. A new option for Yuchang, the Bloodstream Storm, has been added. Bloodstream Storm. A technique that increases the firepower of fire based on the absorbed blood. I've improved this much simply by having Zhanlu. I wonder what more could be possible once I'm completely marked as its master. I'm already curious about how incredible it would be if I activate twin sword resonance with these 2 divine swords. It seems to look lonely because only the divine swords increased in numbers. Anyhow, if I want to be acknowledged as its master, should properly demonstrate my capabilities, right? Current remaining time is 3 hours 11 minutes 29 seconds. While you were in the nest of the owl, I conquered the entire 4th floor with Elfin. But starting from the 5th floor, it isn't as easy to clear through them. And the reason is because from here on, it's completely the territory of the subordinate souls. Current location: 5th floor, Zone 1. Subordinate souls, you say. The Crimson Death were the evolved, advanced tiger-stricken ghosts that devoured humans and used blood arts. If the Crimson Death are skillful only with their physical techniques, the subordinate souls possess exclusive abilities that are embedded in their genes. Some of the subordinate souls that we encountered on the 3rd and 4th floors were much stronger than the Crimson Death and the tiger-stricken ghosts. If this place is filled with those kinds of bastards, They must have adapted efficiently enough to survive here. I get what you mean by it won't be easy. And from this floor onwards, there are diverse ecosystems composed of the many blood kins with various blood arts as their basis. Blood kin. The subordinate souls form hordes to become a blood kin, and each blood kin boasts unique characteristics. Because they don't share one singular trait, there isn't really a concrete method to take them on. Seeing how you know the details, I suppose you were trying to become a subordinate soul. I would have had to face them eventually. I didn't gather forces for nothing. Do you know the state of the factions or the terrain of the fifth floor? No, a lot of the things I knew would have changed drastically at this point. This place is quite cutthroat, as you can see. You seem excited despite saying this place is cutthroat. Though the size of his army isn't comparable to the one he had before, it should be much stronger instead, so he must be thinking that it's completely doable now. Unlike his time against the King of Crimson Death. Then we should capture one of them and interrogate it. And it looks like they're coming just in time. It's the army of the Shame Blood Kin. They're infamous for their formidable mobility. Is that so? Seeing how you know about them, that must mean their rank is quite high within the fifth floor. And judging from their numbers, it looks like there's a lot of information to be obtained from them. Now is the time to check Jean and Elfin's skills, and the capabilities of Jeanlu. Mr. Wolf. Mr. Lee Changsun has accepted your offer for a meeting. Oh, is that so? I've already been waiting for approval for the meeting for 3 days. I was wondering when it would be possible, so thanks. But do you have any other business with me? Could I ask for your signature? If that's difficult for you. No, of course not. I can't deny a request from an adorable lady like you. What's wrong? Did I make a mistake somewhere? Don't you think your choice of words is a bit outdated? I was raised in quite a conservative household, so it's not exactly easy to fix it. I thought my hands and feet would curl. Anyway, it looks like I'll finally get to meet him after such a long wait. I hope he's the sort of person we expected. Didn't you already see him in the dungeon? Don't you recall that it was far too hectic during that time? So it was difficult for me to determine what kind of person he is. We were only able to see one side of that man, after all. But I'd like to hope that he's remained as the same person I saw that time. He certainly was impressive. Though I couldn't see him properly because of the distance. The sight of him tearing up the parasite and the chief priest of Gemini was exactly like the envoy of the god I heard about in ancient fables. To think someone like him still isn't a rancor. But if that's the will of the goddess, then all I can do is cheer him on. So we finally meet. Glad to see you. I am Joaquin Wolf, of the Illuminati. I am Lee Changsun. I heard that you've been waiting for me for a long time. It's nothing. You mustn't have fully recovered from your injuries yet, so I'm rather sorry that we've been stubborn to meet you. Your English is quite good. Lee Changsun, he's as I expected. The weight in his voice and the strong glint in his eyes, truly a great man, a man befitting the unification of beauty, morality, and virtue, Kalokagathia. The value that is most sought after in the Illuminati. But it looks like you're ready to leave the hospital. I have business to attend to overseas. You're quite the busy man, just as I expected from someone of great importance in the White Tiger. Mr. Lee, allow me to briefly talk to you about the matters of our party. There has been a prophecy from the goddess. Please become the clan leader of our Illuminati. 4 days later. Hyung. I'm being really serious right now. That airplane, it's really going to fly properly, right? Just how could you entrust yourself to that sort of thing? I know that you're leaving Korea for the first time. Yeah, I understand what you mean. I don't think you do at all. You were slicing disgusting monsters all fine, and by your logic, how would cars go and ships float? Ugh. But that's. Affinity has increased with Jeanlu. It's quite difficult to wield this thing. Your affinity has surpassed a certain level. You are now able to partially connect with the thoughts embedded inside Jeanlu. It certainly did show decent capabilities in the cave of the tiger-stricken ghosts, as a treasured sword should. And majesty creation and reinforced domination in the options weren't bad either. Since they artificially add weight to the magic, allowing me to subdue enemies with just spirit alone. The problem is that's it. All it does is prompt messages telling me to increase my affinity with it. It's quite lacking for a divine item. Maybe because it has the legend of the king's symbol. It seems to naturally accept itself as deserving to be on a pedestal. Should I try it again now that my affinity with it has increased? You have applied magic to Jeanlu. Magic application has been cancelled. Jeanlu has refused to acknowledge you as its master. Should I just snap it? No, I'm not the twilight of the gods at the moment. I would need more time to be acknowledged as the master of Jeanlu. But if it continues resisting me like this, I'll have to consider either snapping it in two or throwing it in a boiling furnace and recreating it. Also, Minerva is quite the god to reckon with. She could have just told me to return Jeanlu, but she instead told me to take it. And who would have thought she'd give that kind of prophecy? A prophecy. Yes, that's right. So far, all the prophecies have been filled with metaphors and analogies, so there was difficulty in deciphering them, but it was different this time. The prophecy directly pointed out Mr. Lee. Yours is yours to take, for this is the only gift I could give to a friend, as always I am closest to where you are. That's what she said, to be at the place nearest to you. Wouldn't that mean the goddess desires you, Mr. Lee, to be closest to where she is? The only one who may stand beside the goddess is the one who understands her the most and can spread her word throughout the land. In other words, that would be our leader. An apostle. Mr. Lee, it is the will of the goddess that you lead us foolish lambs. A friend, huh? So she considers me a comrade for messing with Gemini, who sullied her sanctuary. The gods and stars I know would never use the word friend to refer to a mortal because it would lower their dignity or something. I can see why Minerva is very adored and respected by her followers. This feels unfamiliar, but fresh as well. However, it seems he took her words in a completely different manner. He doesn't seem to ever want to bend his will. Whatever answer I give might lead to him grabbing on my pants and begging. Imagining a middle-aged man grabbing onto my pants isn't exactly something I'd like to think about. Before that, is it fine for you to make a decision like that? If you would have me as your clan leader despite me never having joined your clan, wouldn't there be fierce internal opposition? There's no way those in high positions would let someone roll in and take their highest position. Since Illuminati is governed by a council of elders with no separate leader, there must be countless interests and vested rights tangled in that kind of structure. Even if the will of the god directly came down, Illuminati should have its own internal rules and structure. Isn't it obvious that I wouldn't be welcomed? The prophecy I mentioned didn't come down to me, but it was directly given to the Parthenon. No matter what those wastes of breath in our clan blabber about, it's not something they could devalue. Since it's the word of the goddess, they won't be able to do anything about it. No matter what they have to say. Not only is he a high ranker around the level of a lord, but it seems he has a large influence within the clan as well. I don't have any plans on taking Illuminati. But siding with a faction of this caliber doesn't sound bad. I am completely content with my current situation. I'm sorry, but I'd like to refuse your offer. You don't need to be so determined. If you could just think it over for a bit. I'd be lying if I said I don't feel tempted to accept it, but that doesn't mean I'd like to bite off more than I can chew. Of course, I consider the teachings of the goddess to be very valuable as well. And so, I think it'd be best to obtain such a gain naturally. In what way? If the goddess called me her friend, then Illuminati must also be a friend to me. Wouldn't that mean you're a friend to me, too? In other words, I'm calling for an alliance between our teams. Not one between the White Tiger and the Illuminati, but an alliance between my team and the Illuminati. We've arrived. No matter how impressive the forces the White Tiger is hiding, they're not enough to completely disregard the Illuminati. I'm certain they're going to be a great help to me when I have to be victorious. Within the white tiger later down the road. Ah, right. Jiayul, I forgot to tell you this, but you have to take off your shoes when you get on a plane. Yes, Hyung. Divine Throne, hunting season, widely opens her eyes after observing the two of you. Whoa. An article about us came up. What? Where? Breaking news that the Tyrant's team advances to Europe. The roar of the white tiger spreads throughout the European continent. Just you wait, Stone Desert. The Tyrant is here. A step towards improving our national reputation. Hey, stop clinging to me and read it on your own. It's hot in here. Mine's charging right now. Fork it over right now. Hee hee. As expected of our Appa, he shines no matter what he does. Hee 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 hee. Why don't you close your mouth? You're going to drool all over it. Humph. Who cares? Even though Changsun Hyung is coming from right over there. Slurp. Where? Woo. Can't believe you fell for that, you diehard fan. Anyway, give me the tablet back now. What are you guys doing here? Hyung. Save me please. Oh ho ho. You're here, Appa. Your body mustn't be all that well right now. Aren't you pushing yourself a bit too much? Divine Throne, world-encircling serpent, looks at his follower with disdain for getting beaten up by his younger sibling. One more dumb thing comes out of your mouth and I'll bash your skull in. Don't forget your seat is right next to mine, got it? So strangely, I've been getting dizzy since the morning, so I was just resting for a bit. Hello. I arrived as well. Hai Bin, you're here. Whoa. Uni. Our Hai Bin. I pray you take care of her as much as possible. Don't worry about it. I consider Hai Bin to be as valuable as if she were my own niece. Thank you. Divine Throne, nameless giant, shakes their head saying there is no being more doting than him. Now, let's head out since everyone's here. Can't believe the juniors and newcomers were the slowest. That's what I'd like to say. Lee Changsun. All thanks to you, I, the Storm Fist Kong Wu-chan, have been on the decline this whole time. Though I may have been mocked due to my carelessness back then. It will be different this time. Since the elders are coming on this business trip as well, I'll eliminate you and get on the elders' good side. Why, you Basta. Oh, so you were here. Do you know how much I've searched for you? Blue Wolf Lord. Your return was today. Haha. Surprise. I simply rescheduled my flight so I could travel home while talking with my friend. I couldn't understand everything because it was in English, but I definitely heard friend a friend. There were rumors that the Blue Wolf Lord was moving to recruit Lee Changsun. But I thought it was just a bluff to contact other clans in secrecy. I liked the idea of traveling alongside a friend, too. Haha. Great, great. Don't tell me, did he really visit the headquarters back then all for Lee Changsun? To think he'd be acquainted with such a huge figure. Shit, Blue Wolf Lord. Even if he may be a high ranker, he dares to ignore me. Oh, everyone got here early. Are those the elders executive director O mentioned? I heard they were monsters that represent the White Tiger, the first-era player group that grounded the foundation of the White Tiger alongside the Heavenly Sword hero Munsung. Divine Throne, tiger submerged in hardship, observes his sharpest and oldest claws. Kakik. Are these children the ones leading the company now? They look like they'd be fine soldiers if they became corpses. Skeletal Divine Demon Buyung Jin. Don't say that. Skeleton. Then they're going to take it seriously. Red Goliath Taehongak. Enough with that, you two. Divine Throne, hunting season, scowls and asks why a bunch of those insidiously smelling ones are here. Divine Throne, world-encircling serpent, wonders why there are plenty of those with the talent to become apostles, yet their master doesn't seem to show much faith. If the future strategic department is the brain and backbone of the white tiger, then the elders are the hidden claws and thorns of the white tiger. Those people, who are rumored to be extremely violent, have come all the way here. Especially the Wuho wretch, Jigel Hyunryong. It would have been difficult for even Executive Director O to convince him to move. He must have requested his help for an opportunity to obtain the fifth sacred scripture of Shan's 7 secret sacred scriptures, as he's said to be the smartest of them all. You must be the Lee Chang-sun Executive Director O talked about. Do you happen to know me? The old monster of the elders, who was first to eradicate thousands of people suffering under demonic ki. In the Pohang break, without even blinking an eye. I've only heard the rumors. It's an honor to meet you. Fufu, they must have been filled with all sorts of infamy. Wouldn't that mean you've lived that resolute of a life? You're going to tread a path similar to mine. I hope I can be a great example to you. Tiger and disease attempts to invade your body. Skill. Kalokagathia has been activated to determine the outside invasion as a curse, and installs a barrier. It's much stronger than the Gildao. There's tiger and disease mixed inside his magic. A ghost soldier. His skill is similar to Joachim. Around the Velored level, a high master at level 80 or higher. He must be a demonic individual above a Gildao. I wonder how many people were sacrificed to create these scum. As I thought, I definitely shouldn't let these bastards live. Now that it seems the introductions are over, allow me to briefly explain. Would you look at this? He's deflecting my tiger and disease. Geezers whose lives have no value. This business trip is to strengthen our cordial relations with Europe as well, not just for our clan's advancement into the United States. These 3 gentlemen will greatly help us with that. But you mustn't make a single mistake. Understood? Yes. Understood. I hope to see all your names in the tabloids once we meet again in the United States, ho ho ho. Even Executive Director O is ignoring me. Lee Chang-sun. To think you've climbed this high within a few months. I shouldn't drag this out any further. Keep in mind what I said, and hand this over the moment you arrive. 2. Could I ask what that is? 1 is a letter to the Illuminati. They wouldn't be welcoming of Lee Chang-sun either, so I'm thinking of lighting a fire under them. The other is for the Black Hand Squad. The Assassin King of Kunaruka. The Assassin King. Make no mistakes. After you hand that over, burn whatever they may give you on the spot. Lee Chang-sun, you decimated the Black Ghost Squad and the disciple of the Assassin King, Hong Jiainam, in the peak of the snowman. Even you will not be able to survive the hands of the world's best assassin. Borrowing the hands of others to kill. Even if he may survive the attacks of the Assassin King, he won't be able to escape unscathed. You couldn't even fathom what I've done to rise to this position. Air France, Incheon Paris Flight, AF0267. Excuse me, dear guest. You must wear your shoes. What? Divine Throne, hunting season, blinks together like him. Pfft. Oh. So you're next to me. I was worried I'd be bored throughout the flight. Divine Throne, tiger submerged in hardship, looks over at his followers. Did he change his seat because he felt sort of threatened by him? Looks like my flight won't be comfortable. Dear passengers, greetings. Today, we at Air France. If I'm going to run into them in France anyway, I might as well try to figure out most of their strengths and weaknesses during the flight, since I'll have to look for the 5th scripture. And they'll be surveilling me. Looks like seeing me deflect the tiger and disease without much effort made him curious about me. I hope to learn many things from you. Ho ho ho. No need to pressure me too much. The levels of surveillance are higher than I expected. I need to make my trump card sooner than I'd planned. What's good is that I should be able to accelerate the creation of my trump card without much difficulty. First, I'll have to develop my followers like the Atratone I met in the nest of the owl. Their camaraderie that surpassed any other followers when the combat started. despite seeming to be endlessly free. Their show of absolute loyalty to Minerva was a sight I couldn't even dream of after having lived alone as the war god and the evil god. The only way to legionize my followers in the shortest amount of time would be the cave of the tiger-stricken ghosts. As long as I can solve all the secrets in the fourth scripture, it's completely doable. Of course, I'll need to increase my powers as much as possible, at least 2 times stronger than I am now, before I obtain the sanguine thunder. In order to do that, I'll need to learn how to utilize my stigma, inferno sight, or to be more precise, how to utilize darkness, a power I didn't even obtain during my days as the twilight of the gods. When I first wielded darkness, I instantly realized that it must be the second power I have to obtain alongside sanguine thunder. It's the power even Gemini were afraid of and is the card hiding up my sleeve that would increase my powers twofold, no, maybe much more. Curse of Cave of the Tiger-Stricken Ghosts has started. Survive for 72 hours starting now. Current location: 5th floor, Zone 1. Though I don't know who the pale star that Mephistopheles is looking for is, he must be trying to find something in me in order to meet them. If I use that knowledge correctly, I should be able to obtain the way to perfectly use darkness. The time limit of the Cave of Tiger-Stricken Ghosts this time is 3 days. It's continuously getting longer, just as I thought. This much time should be enough to reinforce my followers and get in contact with Mephistopheles again. Fufu. Busy as always, Master. Very well, go on ahead. I'll show you something quite interesting once you return. Interesting. You remember the ghost horse we took from Winged Hussar? I learned how to tame it. There are plenty of strategies to consider if cavalry is added. A legion on ghost horseback. That doesn't sound too bad. Now then, I'll put that joy aside for later and head on to meet him. Divine Throne, Tiger submerged in hardship, warns you not to act foolishly. Divine Throne, hunting season, nods her head and says you should follow the words of a certain god just this time. Divine Throne, world-encircling serpent, advises you to reconsider your decision. To meet such a being, who is the epitome of menace and evil. Seems like they caught me trying to meet Mephistopheles. Everyone's doing their best to dissuade me. Divine Throne, primordial evil dragon, reads the darkness and observes you with interest. A power that gods and stars are afraid of. Divine Throne, hunting season. Quickly tries to cover her mother's eyes so as to not have her precious treasure caught. Divine Throne, primordial evil dragon presses her daughter's head with her front leg and continues to observe you. Divine Throne, Taurus, releases air from their snout and looks at you, who trifled with their comrade. Divine Throne, primordial evil dragon roars at a certain star to get lost, as they're being too noisy with their nose. Divine Throne, Taurus, growls at a certain evil dragon, asking her if she wants to die. If it's something Tiamat and Bel-Marduk are wary of, then there's enough value in attempting it. You have started to concentrate your mind. Stigma has been activated. Divine Throne, Tiger submerged in hardship, gets angry and asks why you aren't listening to H. You have succeeded in brightening Inferno sight by using darkness. You are in a concentrated state. You are in a meditative state. You have completely understood the meditative method of yoga, the Ashtanga, and you have delved deeper into the world of the unconscious. You have attained the level of tranquil mind, and you have obtained 5,000 karma achievement points. You are in suspended animation. You have succeeded in connecting to the world of the unconscious. Since darkness is also a power given by Mephistopheles, if I activate Inferno sight with darkness inside the stigma and look inside my inner mind, I should be able to meet him. Achievement attained. Yogi of Theta Reward Intelligence, will 10 title realization of the Nirbhaja Samadhi. As I expected, you never lost your sight of me. Pale gaze focuses on you. I have something to ask of you. Take me as your disciple. As I thought, you were watching me this entire time. The pallid gaze stares at you. I have a favor to ask. Please take me in as your disciple. Why should I? That's not a yes or no. He's simply curious. He didn't outright refuse me, so I just gotta convince him from now on. I believe I've already proven my worth. I found Inferno sight despite being a mere mortal and even escaped from Gemini. I heard from the owl that pierces through the twilight that you've been looking for someone. I'll be of great help to you, great demon. Even though I don't get system messages about it, Mephistopheles usually keeps an eye on me. He might even be looking for Cabus in me, or it could be like Minerva said. That I'm very similar to the person he's looking for. Whatever the reason, he's capable of peeping into the sanctuary of a great divinity of Columbus. I can't just let him go. But I believe just watching without any direct interference won't be enough. I'll keep growing in the future and will eventually become active in a wider area. Borrow my eyes. Just say the word, and you can have them anytime. In that case, become my apostle. Don't you know already? I don't want to be subordinate to anyone. How fussy. Same as what you did to the Void Monarch. But that might not be too bad. He must not like the fact that I'm doing the same to him as I did to the Void Monarch, so it won't hurt him anyway. Even if he teaches me how to use pitch-black darkness. Whether I'll be able to learn it properly or not depends on my talent. However, there is no need to rush in making a decision. I will test how talented you are first. Scenario quest qualify for pitch-black darkness. Has been created. Type. Scenario. Description. The great demon that chases after the abyss is interested in you. Who has dared to wield pitch-black darkness through stigma? As someone who has discovered Inferno sight, which most divinities cannot even dare to do, you have already succeeded in qualifying for it. However, you are still lacking in many aspects. Furthermore, he believes that multiple emotional interactions and solidarity are necessary for a human to develop a master-disciple connection with him. A master-disciple relationship. Not a proposal of a deal. Looks like he wants something different. Does he share a master-disciple relationship with the person he's looking for? Please pass all 3 tests the great demon that chases after the abyss has for you. If you do so, you will earn his trust and affection as a disciple. Restrictions. Possessor of pitch-black darkness. Time limit upon failure. Disqualification. Upon success. Complete possession of stigma. Method of using pitch-black darkness. The title Great Demon's Disciple. That's it. I got the opportunity one wanted. But trust, huh? I asked to be his disciple, but I thought of it as more of a mutual exchange. I think Mephistopheles wants a closer, more emotional relationship with me. I can't say yet. But I wonder how our relationship will turn out in the future. The sectional quest starts now. Test of qualification proof I, type. Section. Sequence. Description. The great demon that chases after the abyss has sent a worthy representative of his as a messenger to you. Get acknowledged by him first. Upon failure. Scenario fails. Upon success. Followed by sectional quest test of qualification proof 2. A messenger. Who is it going to be? Once you pass the test, come to me again. Escaping the pallid sanctuary. Ah. Are you okay? You have some pretty serious sleeping habits. You don't look like you would. Oh, yes. I'm fine. Is this reality? But I'm sure I was just in the ghoul den. Achievement accomplished. Great Demon's Follower Reward. Magic 15, Will 10. The time given to you has completely run out. Assessment. SSS. You will be rewarded in accordance with your assessment. You have returned to reality. Reward for clearing. It's already been 3 days. Even if the flow of time in the sanctuary is different, how could it be this different? It probably just shows how high Mephistopheles' level is, but doesn't this also mean I will be far from boosting my powers? I might not even be able to take the test. Is it that fascinating to them? One thing I know for sure is that the Constellation, the great demon that chases after the abyss, is quietly watching you now that you have started his test for qualification. Mephistopheles' stigma has gotten way clearer than before. I could barely unlock it by focusing on it before, but now it's closer to being a sense. The quantity of pitch-black darkness has been amplified several times. This is more than enough to combine with skills to strengthen them. It's more than enough to recover the 72 hours I just blew off. What is that? A mysterious cause has forcefully unlocked the inventory. What's going on? Attempting to hatch Jigwee's egg. It didn't show any reaction when I fed it so much food, yet why is it reacting now? All of a sudden. A tail. It's not a bird. But Jigwee's egg was supposed to hatch, and the divine bird, the supreme hunting bird, was supposed to come out. The one that gives courage and buffs to its owner and their comrades. Don't tell me this is the messenger. Jigwee's egg, holding pitch-black darkness in its mouth, is completely hatching. Kiwoo. The little black flame dragon inside pitch-black darkness has appeared. Little black flame dragon inside pitch-black darkness stares at the person who woke him up. Kiwoo, Kiwo. The eyes of the Constellation, good season to hunt, are sparkling, saying a cute little baby has been born. The Constellation, the snake that wraps around the world, starts rummaging through the old book storage in a rush after seeing its dragon-like appearance. The Constellation, the tiger that has been trapped in hardships, snorts, saying snakes are way braver and more auspicious animals than dragons since ancient times. Kiwoo. Little black flame dragon inside pitch-black darkness sways around showing off his existence. What's that noise? Changxian. Ah. It's so cute. Hey, what's that baby in your hand? I had a divine beast's egg on me for some time, and this hatched from it. Kiwoo. Kiyu. Yes, sir. The other passengers may feel disturbed, but I'll try convincing them. By the way, if you don't mind, can I take a picture with you? It's so damn chaotic. The sectional quest has been updated. Test for qualification proof I updated. Type. Section. Sequence. Description. The messenger, the great demon that chases after the abyss. Sent has just arrived. Get acknowledged by him. Upon failure. Scenario fails. Upon success. Followed by sectional quest test of qualification proof 2. The newly hatched little black flame dragon inside pitch black darkness is very hungry right now. Find and feed him a prey. As he feels more full, your intimacy will go up. The closer you become, the more you will be able to read the thoughts of little black flame dragon inside pitch black darkness. Pray. I didn't expect this at all. I can't get anything inside this airplane. Oh, looks like he's hungry. He's so lively. Wanna try this? Kiyu. Kiyu. Ah. But it's a pretty expensive snack. Well, he just hatched. Doesn't he need baby food or something? But he's a dragon. Won't he be able to easily digest it? Maybe. What do dragons eat? I don't know. Klyu. Kiyu. He does look hungry. What should I feed him? Little black flame dragon inside pitch black darkness protests in extreme hunger. Unless it's a drake dragon, the low-ranking dragon species, it's extremely rare to see dragons even in dungeons. A high-ranking dragon species like this one is virtually impossible to see, so there's nothing we know. Kiyu. Klyu. What do I do? All I know about dragons is that they're highly intelligent right out of birth and that the great ancient dragon, the dragon in a 1,000-year sleep, is the ancestor and progenitor of all dragons. Little black flame dragon inside pitch black darkness resembles the great ancient dragon, but the aura he exudes is completely different. Q. Mephistopheles sent this dragon. There must be something different about him. What if he's the one capable of divine therianthropy, the highest level of therianthropy? Therianthropy. The fantastical or mythological ability of some humans to change into animals. Divine therianthropy. Ability to transform into divine beasts. I apologize. I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to the dragon race either. The moment we land, I will try asking around. No. There's still 8 hours left for the flight to land. Little black flame dragon inside pitch black darkness is in an extremely bad condition. Little black flame dragon inside pitch black darkness is famished. Your relationship with him is continuously declining. Warning. A continued decline in relationship may damage your bond with little black flame dragon inside pitch black darkness. You are in danger of failing the sectional quest test of qualification proof. I, Mephistopheles, sent this messenger to test my pitch black darkness. In that case, the answer must be in pitch black darkness, right? Looks like that baby is a demonic dragon. A demonic dragon. Do you know a lot about dragons? A little bit. I raised a similar one back in the day. Demonic dragons are creatures among the high-ranking dragon races that form contracts with devils or become corrupt for some reason. That's why their behavior is different from that of regular dragons. In fact, they actually end up being hostile with regular dragons. For a dragon soaked in demonic energy, does that mean that rather than the physical thing itself, it's more about the ideology? So compared with an object, rather than focusing on the material, it focuses more on its value and the feats it holds. I happen to have just the thing for it. The constellation good season to hunt. Jumped out of her chair, asking, "What the hell are you doing right now? I wonder what it'll do." The constellation good season to hunt. Lets out a deep sigh. The constellation good season to hunt. Resists, saying, "If you're going to use that precious object in that manner, she'd rather you throw it away." The guiding sword, soaking in pitch black darkness, is exuding darkness that is pitch black in intensity. The constellation good season to hunt, in fright and shock, screams, "Don't do that." The constellation the snake that wraps around the world looks at a certain god, as if she's pathetic, saying he must have a reason for it. The little thing's loving it. That sword looks pretty pricey. I was frustrated about how I should use it. It might just be better to feed it to him and increase my progress in the quest at the same time. Little black flame dragon inside pitch black darkness is euphoric to discover such delicious food. His loyalty to you has also faintly increased. Little black flame dragon inside pitch black darkness acknowledges you as his partner for giving him tasty food. Would you like to give him a name? No message popped up about me failing the hidden quest, oh Yezi's secret. I don't know how, but I think I can still use the sword despite it having been digested by this baby dragon. What are you going to name that baby? I'm thinking of naming him Dragon Dragony. The constellation the snake that wraps around the world is covering his face with his tail, saying he's embarrassed at your hopeless naming sense. Dragon Dragon. You say. The constellation the tiger that has been trapped in hardships turns his face away, saying there's no such thing as a perfect being in this world. Is it not good? What about Rory? Then. The constellation good season to hunt tilts her head, saying it seems like a cute name but that she feels like something is wrong for some unknown reason. Changxian. You are not serious about it, are you? The constellation the snake that wraps around the world tells a certain god that she has a similar naming sense. So don't ever try naming a pet. The constellation good season to hunt jumps out of her seat, saying no one in the world could name their pets better than her. The constellation the snake that wraps around the world asks her what kind of names she gave her pets. The constellation good season to hunt. Proudly lists out the names Peep Peepee, Meowie, Quack Quacky, and Oinky. The constellation the snake that wraps around the world. Sighs, saying they have someone worse right by their side.